Yo, what's up guys, it's Ian. I am back with some League of Legends stuff, and this is actually really interesting. This is focused for those of you who are League of Legends fans and all that other stuff that are like interested in League of Legends and want to know about some information. And for those of you who don't know, I have a PBE account. I got into the PBE maybe like a year or two ago, and ever since then I've just been messing around with like all the new stuff that's been coming out. And you're probably wondering why this is my username. You can like change your username to whatever you want, because it gives you like a limited IP and LP IP. It gives you like a limited IP and RP, which is basically like the in-game currency to buy stuff. So it's really cool, like you can do anything. And so like basically what I'm gonna show you guys today is something I found really interesting in the new PBE patch, which is I think 7.11. It's really interesting, especially as a Yasuo main. I found this really cool. So what they did was with Yasuo is they nerfed his Q cooldown. So if you look at the Q cooldown, it originally was 10 seconds. For those of you who play Yasuo, you know that when you get your third stack of Gathering Storm, you know it's originally 10 seconds. But what Rito did, or Riot, is they nerfed it down to 6 seconds. So that's basically the amount of time that you get when you get the third stack. I still haven't figured this thing out, dude. Okay, so it's Shift S. But yeah, so they basically what they did is they nerfed the amount of time that you are able to hold on to that third stack. So whenever I get my third stack, you can see down here it only stays for 6 seconds. So basically at level 1, the cooldown on the Q, it's almost is the same amount of time as the amount of time you have with your third stack, which is, I mean, I guess it's a direct nerf to lower level whenever you're lower level with Yasuo, because lower level, like, you know, like the bigger cooldown or the bigger amount of time that you're able to hold on to the Q with Yasuo, it gives you a I'm boosted. It gives you a better chance to hold on to the Q and to bait it out, kind of. If you're going against an enemy, you can hold on to it a little bit longer and kind of it gives you a better chance to anticipate where your enemy's gonna be. So that's a little bit like a nerf. But on the E, this is what I really want to talk about. On the E, what they did was they reduced the cooldown on Yasuo's E. What they did was they buffed it at lower levels. For example, the E cooldown at level 1 is only half a second, but they buffed it now. So now they nerfed it. So now it's 1 second, and then it goes at level 1 it's 1 second, level 2 it's 0.75 seconds, level 3 it's 5 seconds, level 4 it's 0.25 seconds, and then at level 5 max level it's 0 seconds. It has no cooldown, and I found this so interesting. I'm just gonna level myself up here, but I found this really interesting because at max level it's absolutely ridiculous. But I found this really interesting, because if you, for say, have no cooldown on his E, literally you could just hold down the E. I'm gonna see if this works. Okay, so no, I don't think. Okay, no, so it doesn't work. But it has no cooldown. But the thing is, it's kind of weird because it still looks like it has a cooldown, right? Like it's still. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a change. But I found this really interesting, because there was a bug back. There was a bug many patches ago, where Yasuo's E, you were able to dash through minions like nothing, and it's really interesting. But it's funny because it says it has no cooldown, but it still has like a really short cooldown. But it's just really interesting. I found it really interesting. So I guess the cooldown, there's still a cooldown for it, but it's not. It says 0 seconds on the when I was reading the patch notes, so it's really, I thought it was interesting. But it's just really interesting because before it was, I think it was 0.25 seconds before, and then they brought it down at higher levels, so now it has a 0 cooldown, which I think is really interesting. I don't know if I can level him down. I'm not sure. Yeah, or else I probably should have started going from up to down. But it's really interesting. I thought it was really cool that they did that. That they made the cooldown of the E 0 seconds now instead of it being 0.25, which, I mean, that's still really low for a cooldown. But I mean, to have no cooldown, it's ridiculous. Like, you could just keep just slicing through minions, and just it makes his traveling a lot easier with his E. But anyways, I think that'll be it for this video. I thought it was really interesting that they put a 0 cooldown on his E, so it literally has no cooldown, which is really cool. But the nerf to his Q, you know, it's obviously, it's not that big, but it's still, it's gonna make it a lot harder to anticipate your enemy's moves and that stuff. But anyways, guys, this is Ian, or ArmedChief, whatever you want to call me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace, guys.